What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
The elder snickered at Gobta's query.
No need to worry about that. There is only one door leading to the underground, and only Lord Clayman could open it.
MILIM raised an eyebrow.
Well, if it won't open, let's just break it down.
Certainly. One swing of my blade, and all shall be pulverized.
No, we need to examine it first. Please, no breaking anything.
I rushed in to keep the extremists from having their way.
Right, good point. Better be more careful than that, Xian.
Yes, that was close. If I didn't hear that, I would have lost hold of myself.
That's just what I was anxious about, but at least they were open to guidance. So we made our way through the rather extensive ruins, past the Dark Elves settlement and up to a single, very large door, the same size as the first but with a very apparent magical seal on it.
This appears to be part of a defense mechanism powered by ancient magic. It might wake up the entire city defense system if we touch it.
Defense system? Is it still active?
We'll need to be careful. If we trip it, the expedition might have to be called off very quickly.
Kigali stiffened as she gave the warning, and her team's faces all tightened up, too. I wonder how Clayman got this thing open.
Was Clayman involved with running these ruins or something?
No, he came to the forefront only just recently. I doubt he was involved with them before that point.
I think he managed to undo this magical seal, follow the correct procedure, and I think it should open without complaint.
Yes. Even Clayman could tackle this one, if he had enough time. Didn't he have some unique skill along those lines?
Affirmative. Manipulator. The power to convert information into encrypted messages that can be sent and received.
Right, that one. He could probably use it to decrypt whatever data he saw, which was a good way to analyze and break open magic seals like this one. By the way, have I obtained that skill yet?
Understood. The skill was an inferior version of the powers my master already has, so it was dismantled and absorbed as energy. As a formality, control terrain has been added to control laws.
No wonder I didn't hear about it. If it's not worth reporting, Raphael doesn't tell me about it. But if Clayman could do it, so can I. It's really Raphael doing it, but whatever.
This could be a long battle.
Quite a challenge to start out with. But this is still a good environment compared to what we've dealt with before. Let's settle down and start deciphering this.
The team was enthusiastic about getting to work, for sure. Meanwhile, I laid a hand on the door. The energy flowing through the veins in the earth, I could tell, was spreading out across the wall as it went through the magic seal.
I see. If we break down this door, that'll knock out all the light in this section. All this energy would be diverted toward eliminating the intruders, and then it'd heal itself once everything was safe again, perhaps. Staying in operation like this for over 1,000 years. This is the work of a highly advanced civilization of magic.
It was Greek to me if I was alone, but thanks to all the support I had here, this was pretty easy to follow. It was even kind of fun, like a puzzle. Working my way through the magic seal like a worksheet full of mathematical problems, I managed to figure out how to open it.
Oh, here we go. Run some magic power through here, and that'll open up an input window for an encrypted spell.
I turned back toward everyone, only to find the team staring at me, jaw down on the floor. Oops. In an instant, I knew I had gone too far. It was so much fun analyzing it, but this was their job, wasn't it?
Sorry, kinda got carried away.
No, not a problem at all.
Kigali offered me some comfort, but I really felt like I was stepping on some toes here. Butting in too much would be regrettable, so I decided to sit back and fluff up Ranga's mane for a while. But with the kind of gang I brought along, that wasn't gonna happen.
I just solved it too.
MILIM was already bounding around the door.
Oh, I'm pretty stumped, I guess.
Meanwhile, Gobta was bringing a quizzical hand to his head. Several of the team members were debating among themselves, voices and eyes bright. This all happened thanks to a question from Kigali.
Sir Rimuru, would you mind explaining how you deciphered this?
I was deep into giving Ranga a grooming session, but if she was asking, I had to answer her. So in front of an eager-to-learn audience, I went over the steps I took to decipher the magic seal.
First, before you examine the complete shape, you need to examine what kind of magical formula has been added to it. Then you divided that formula into individual sections.
So you look for the newest spell first?
Right. You're figuring out which formula will keep the complete shape from working right if you take it out, and then you repeat that as you try to grasp the core features of the spell. After that, it's just a matter of taking all the correct answers and stacking them atop one another.
I see.
So get rid of the false data, and keep the spells that work correctly?
I had heard this was a team of elite explorers, and they certainly were quick learners. Just a little advice from me, and their understanding grew deeper and deeper.
So with trap spells, they're usually complete packages in and of themselves, right? They're kind of like leaves and branches coming out from the main tree, separate from the flow at the foundation. That's assuming the main purpose of the spell isn't to activate the trap, of course, but…
So they're in the main flow of the seal, but we can't afford to ignore them, huh?
I guess my experience educating children was paying off. The team found my teaching style really easy to grasp. Having so much success lifted my spirits, so I kept on demonstrating my approach to magic seal analysis. In the midst of this, MILIM went and got the door completely unsealed. A few others followed quickly after her, but it was then that the Dark Elf Elder spoke up again.
Everybody, we've prepared dinner for you. I'm sure you're tired from your long journey, so why don't we finish up work for today?
Only now did I realize we were into the evening hours. Yeah, the real expedition could begin tomorrow. Let's wrap things up for now. We can get the door open for good soon enough.
Okay, wanna stop here?
Sounds good. It feels strange describing it as a long journey, but we can get down to business starting tomorrow.
With Kigali's agreement, our work ended for the day. The next morning, Kigali formally opened the door, her fully equipped team lined up behind her. A blue light flickered as the door silently slid away.
And there we go.
The team cheered.
Well done,
I said as I took a step inside. In this middle section, the light wasn't as bright as above. It was more of a dimmer glow, eternally shining from candlesticks installed in the stone walls. Another impressive piece of magical technology, not real candles, but magic-driven illumination. As I walked along, astonished by them, MILIM came up to me.
It feels a lot more oppressive all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah, the ceiling's a lot lower, and it feels like these stone walls are closing in on us. Pretty narrow corridor, too. I bet this is set up like kind of a maze.
The corridor was maybe 6.5 feet wide. Two people standing next to each other would feel a little cramped. MILIM and I were on the small side, so it wasn't a problem, but the people carrying large packs behind us probably had a rougher time of it.
Sir Rimuru, who should we have up front?
If this was a maze-like area, we'd have to figure out a path to take at every fork in the hallways. There might be traps in place, too.
We can detect traps for you as the leaders. Do you mind if we stay in the front?
If you don't mind handling that for us.
Sure thing. With me around, you're safe no matter what shows up.
MILIM gave a reassuring nod before I could speak up. Nobody had any issue with that, so we were now leading the whole team, Kigali and her assistant behind us. Shion and Gobta took up the rear, serving as bodyguards for the rest of the team. Rongo was in my shadow, and the elder was watching the door for us. I couldn't wait for dinner from her tonight. I ambled along, using magic sense to survey the path ahead. The corridor was stone, but sometimes we'd pass by murals on the walls, very pretty ones.
Wow, these murals alone have a lot of artistic value.
Do they?
Sure, they must be depicting scenes from ancient times, so they'll be great to research. They're really worth a lot.
You know, thinking about it, they do remind me of things I saw way back when.
Oh, right. To me, it's the faraway past, but to MILIM, this is probably just a nostalgia trip. That'd make anyone a bit emotional, I bet. Better be careful with our expedition here. I wouldn't want to add any more damage to the wear and tear of time. Our explorations continued apace, with no booby traps to speak of. We were now taking a break for lunch.
All right, I'll begin cooking then.
Oh, wait 1 minute. The elder made some box lunches for all of us, so let's go with those.
I stopped a team member as he was trying to start a campfire, then took out enough lunches for everyone. It must have looked like I conjured them up from nothing, but they were in my stomach, of course. That kept them well preserved, making it a useful skill for long journeys like this.
Is that even possible?
I could hear people whispering about me. Let them. Despite their confusion, they readily accepted the boxes.
Oh, this does look good,
exclaimed MILIM when she opened it up. On the menu today were sandwiches with tons of veggies, eggs, and smoked meat. Dark elf cuisine was all about uniquely heavy sauces. The one used here was a bit like mayonnaise, doing a great job of softening up the rather hard buns. If people still had trouble biting through them, that's where the vegetable soup came in, poured into large wooden bowls. It used a hearty chicken broth, giving it a nice, tasty body that really worked its way into the veggies for a satisfying treat.
I have lots more, so don't be shy.
The moment I shouted it, I was mobbed by team members, empty bowls in hand. MILIM was first in line, so I guess she was a fan.
We almost never get food this good outdoors. You're making us a very happy team today.
I couldn't help but feel Kigali was needling me a little when she said that. I had just resolved not to butt in too much, after all, so I could read between the lines, but if she thought this was cheating, I hoped she was willing to overlook it.
Well, you know, I'd like to avoid using fire in this place if we can.
Fire?
Right. We don't want a fire to go out of control in here, and besides, we're underground. I think we've got good ventilation so far, but just in case, you know?
You were thinking that far ahead, huh?
I wouldn't worry so much if we were outdoors, though.
That was the truth. This was a tight corridor, and there was no ready source of water. If something happened, we might not have an escape route. That's why I felt it prudent to bring along box lunches from the start. Also, bathroom breaks.
By the way, if any of you want to go to the bathroom, I'll set up a transport gate back to the entrance, so take care of that during our lunch break, okay?
With that, I flipped the figurative switch on a transport gate. Some of them gave me, "You're kidding me," stares, but, you know, I figured they would probably just do their business behind a rock or something otherwise, but I wanted to avoid that. This path eventually leads to a crypt, after all, and I didn't want to profane it.
I think you're worrying too much, and the dead might not care anyway.
No, I think we could learn from that.
Kigali agreed with me. That was nice to see. So while everyone's taking a bathroom break,
"Hey, is it alright if I try out something real quick?"
I said to Kigali.
What's that? Coming from you. I'd really like to know.
Well, in the labyrinth I run, one popular strategy right now is to rely on elemental communication. You have to be a shaman or elementalist to access that, but it lets you immediately discover the best path to take.
Really? Because that sounds real convenient.
Oh, Kigali didn't know about that? I guess you wouldn't, unless you're intimately involved in that stuff.
Hey, a shamaness. Can you tell me more about elemental communication?
Ooh, lucky break there. I felt a little self-conscious about casting the spell myself, so perfect. The volunteer who spoke up was a woman versed in spirit magic, so I gave her a quick lecture on elemental communication.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it.
She was geared toward the wind element, which made conversation between her and the spirits a relatively smooth process.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shoutout to Mark Bozeman, Rafael Martins, Jithan George, Luminoseka, Shlok Tiwari, Chadvota, John Dianga, Anik Saha, Francois, and last but not the least, shoutout to Cory Adfina. I'll see you guys in the next video.